Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for another speed build. Today we are building something a little bit different in anticipation for the new Sims 4 for rent pack. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions starting with that name. Not my favorite Sims pack expansion name, but you know what, they tried, I guess. I cut out a lot from this video because after having sped it up, it still ended up being like almost an hour plus of footage, so I cut out I cut out the floor plan, I cut out the bathrooms, I cut out the landscaping and whatnot, but overall I'm really happy with it. I used a couple different inspo pictures. I found some inspo pictures on Pinterest, and then, apparently I cut out a lot of the outside. Oh god, it took me a really long time, but I ended up building 4 townhomes. They all vary slightly in floor plan and number of bedrooms, obviously design choice, and I'm really excited with how they came out. I have been waiting with pleasant anticipation to finally be able to have multiple families live on the same lot. I know most of us are excited about this pack for that reason, but based on what I've seen from the pack so far, I feel like I have some hot takes, but I'm not prepared to give a full total review quite yet because I need to get it in my hands myself and like give you an honest review. But just for a second, I don't know if you noticed our little friend. This is the real Slim Shady, and I'm not joking. So I have a tree. It's in my living room. I finally bought a fake tree. I'm still really dealing with the emotional turmoil inside of buying a fake tree. I'm a real tree girly. I want to own my own Christmas tree farm one day. A sustainable Christmas tree farm. Yes, like a whole thing. But I really wanted my tree up in freaking November 1st to be exact. Like literally Halloween, got up, wiped the rest of my makeup off from the night before, and went ahead and put my tree up because I wanted it so bad. But anyway, I still really wanted a real tree, and I was like, I'm gonna get a real tree for the office. It started as me going on the lot to look for like a cute, like little tiny, like maybe on my desk, like small tree. This tree is almost as tall as I am, so whatever. But I went to a tree lot I've never been to that's near my house because since the last time I had a Christmas tree, like a real tree at least, I moved, so this place was like the closest to my house, and I like to try to go to smaller lots because I think the money goes to a better place. But if you get your tree at Home Depot or Lowe's, like good for you, whatever. So I go and I get this tree, and they did something I've never seen before and I thought was like the cutest little thing. All of the trees had like their tags and how much they cost, and the cost was based on size for the most part. And then they were all named, and I thought that was so cute. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the reasons I chose this tree over another tree is because I liked its name so much. So this is the real Slim Shady. I love her. She's beautiful. She's not decorated yet, but that's because I brought her home last night, the time you're seeing this video, at like, 8:30, 9 o'clock. And yeah, your girl's tired. It's grad week is coming up, and my parents are coming, and they're going to stay in my tiny little townhouse with me, so it's a whole thing. But it's been a really exciting time, and like really exciting couple of days. And then The Sims is like, yeah, are you busy? Are you scrambling for time? We're going to drop a new expansion pack. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, love that for me. So I built this. I've been building it over the last couple of weeks. I finished it very recently because it is just freaking huge. It's a huge build, and although you can't see it super well right now, don't worry about it. Per usual, we're going to go ahead and jump in and do a live tour at the very end, so you'll get an opportunity to see everything. So this first build I did, I actually imagined that I built this for a lady in mine, is a fashion influencer, and I made the second bedroom in her townhouse a huge walk-in closet, like a glam room. I don't know if you've ever seen like the Kardashians, they have like their glam room, blah 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 blah. That's what I made her, and the theme of her house overall was green. She had a fancy espresso machine in the kitchen. I don't know if you saw that. And all in all, I try to give every townhouse like its own kind of unique and personalized story. I personally really like to build like that. I feel like it's way easier in the long run to actually create houses that are cute. Wait until you see the winter house I just built. Oh my god, I can't plug another house while I'm already building about this one. But that's coming in a few weeks too. I have so many fun little winter houses coming up. The holiday season is my absolute favorite time of the year, and I have so much stuff going on, which is so exciting and also a little stressful, but it's okay. As soon as I finish with this video, I'm doing my voiceover, I'm going to upload it, I'm going to do my thumbnail, I'm going to be out the door because I'm going to go attempt to hunt down an angel tree kid. For those of you who don't know what angel tree is, it's a kind of like charitable project put on by the Salvation Army, and there are other similar kind of projects to the angel trees. But parents and children can go and submit their little, like, form to the tree. You don't get all the information. Typically, you find out the gender of the child, their sizes, their first name, and they give you a little list of what they want. And I am fortunate enough to be in the position that I can actually afford to try to give back a little bit, and I would love, love, love to do that. So I've been trying to hunt down an angel tree, but I went online and it was really confusing. So I'm just going to call around. I live in between a few different local Salvation Armies, and I know they also often do the trees at Walmart, and I live near 3 different Walmarts, 2 neighborhood Walmarts, and like one of the big ones. So I'm going to also stop in there if I can't find any luck at the Salvation Armies. But it's a great organization to get involved with. But I know they're moving their deadline up. I think all the gifts that you buy are due, say, like, the 8th or 9th of this week. So if you're looking to do it, I urge you to get involved quickly. If not, there are so many other organizations to get involved with. Definitely check locally first. I personally always prefer to give to local charities because they're people directly in your community. But you know what? If you have the availability to give and you want to get involved, do it. If you cannot donate resources, donate your time. I live near a local food kitchen and food bank, and they are always looking for help, donations. So, you know, get out there, share your holiday spirit. I know I'm looking forward to that, and I just cannot wait for Christmas. I am not going to go home and see my family this year, I don't think. For a long, long, long list of reasons, mostly doing with, like, scheduling conflicts, and my mom is an ICU nurse, and my sister is a nurse in an ER, and, like, we all are just all over the place, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not yet, but either way, I have lots of plans for Christmas. I will have a magic Christmas, even if it's with just me and my puppy dogs, who, by the way, are asleep in their beds right next to me, and they're so cute. They are so cute. And I would show you, but that part of the office is actually a disaster. And I know everyone's like, you can show us. It's okay. I will not attach my name to that. You know what's funny is, like, I really, like, sometimes feel, like, when I'm feeling, like, some, like, imposter syndrome and, like, down, you know, I'm like, oh my god, like, no one watches these little YouTube videos I make. Like, I put so much time into them. And, like, I know people do. I see your comments, I see your likes. I love whenever I'm on stream, or, like, people will inbox and message me and be like, hey girl, like, where's your next video? And I love that. But, like, internally sometimes I'm feeling a little like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing kind of thing. I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, thank you. But I was doing another job interview. For those of you who've been hanging out with me a lot, you know I've been interviewing left and right out the wazoo with these freaking interviews. So I was in an interview, and almost the entire thing was centered around my YouTube video, and they're like, we watched your videos, we love them. I was like, it was like a mix of, like, and, like, embarrassment. Like, I was almost like, you saw me say fuck on the internet and you still called me? And they were like, we love them, we love your energy, we love the excitement. And I was like, okay. Like, I honestly can only equate it to, like, a similar feeling. Let's say hypothetically at one point or another I was a Wattpad girly, and let's say hypothetically at one point I was relatively successful, and let's say hypothetically at one point somebody figured it out, confronted me, and I totally gaslit them. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then I quit, and I gave up. Yeah. That's a hypothetical. But it was a similar experience, I would imagine. And but they were really happy. I haven't heard back from them per my second round interview, so I don't know. But it's the holidays, so I'm not freaking out. I still have not got my big girl job yet, but I am excited to report that I have been offered a few jobs. Not a few, like 2. But one I already turned down because it just wasn't right for me. You know, you gotta do what's right for you. And one that I just recently got and, like, have to mull over and see, and, like, I'm still waiting on some other answers. But if you are a grad or you are making a career change, or you are struggling in the job market right now, do not fret. It is not your fault. The job market is really hard right now, okay? And doing all the interviews and stuff is like exhausting. It is truly, truly an exhausting experience. And yeah, basically I really love a self-aware queen, and I try really hard to be self-aware, and I try really hard to understand like my destiny is in my own hands and it's not the world. But sometimes it is okay to blame the world. It's okay for things to not be your fault. I'm just a girl. I can't be held responsible for these things. So, you know what? Don't get yourself down. Go watch a Christmas movie. Enjoy yourself. Speaking of Christmas, this is further in the side, or in the realm, swinging back around. I am going to make a holiday gift guide for Simmer. I don't know if I'm going to do a YouTube video on it. It will probably be like a TikTok mini-series. But I'm open to suggestions. I have been spending the last like 2 or 3 weeks like going through Amazon, looking online, like trying to find some like deals. Also trying to find things like I personally would genuinely enjoy. I've been all over Etsy, like looking at different swag packages. So basically, if you are a little gamer or you love The Sims and you have any ideas, drop them in the comments down below. I would love to add them to my gift guide. Plus, like, not everyone's me. Like, everyone has different tastes. So I would like to appeal to a broad audience. And if you wanted to help me with that, I'd love that. And what else am I've completely glossed over that second apartment. And the second apartment, not this one, the one we did right before it, with all the brick, you're probably noticing I didn't do the upstairs. That is because I got off stream. And whenever I pop back in to finish the build, I had, like, forgotten. So I do swing back around and do it on camera. Like, you're going to see me do it. But if you were wondering about that, no, you're not crazy. No, your video didn't skip. That is exactly what happened. I don't know why you would think your video is skipping, considering how fast I talk and how much I talk. Because sometimes I really need to shut the fuck up. But you know what? It is what it is. I definitely made this house for, like, a single mom and her 2 kiddos. I did this nursery, like, kind of, is it a nursery? No, I ended up not making a nursery. They're twins. That's what I ended up doing, because I don't know, I feel like nurseries for me can sometimes be a cop-out, like, if I'm being a little lazy, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna do a nursery. Meh. Because there's, like, less choices, and you don't have to, like, put as much thought into it, but, like, you know what, no one come for me. I tried my best. This build took me a long time. But yeah, and it's just been, like, so crazy. Speaking of crazy, work has been crazy, and I had, like, a not great experience the other day at work. So, like, I work at an evening club, you know. I love what I do right here in the little hallway. I put some spandrels up, and I put a little desk. Oh, no, wait, not do it. Yeah, I do that. Okay, I'm doing that. It's just not happening yet. But I work at an evening club, and, we serve juice there. Juice. And juice, where I live, is not for everyone. You have to be a certain age to consume it. But the place I work, we allow 18 and up. But we, like, there's, like, it's like a whole thing. We have a way to, like, know that you're of age. And the other night, I just had all the underage kiddos at my bar trying to consume the juice on my watch, which I try not to be a stickler or nothing, but, like, I don't want to go to jail, and it's like my job to, like, you know, not let that happen because it's illegal. And when it becomes illegal, when they look at the security cameras and they figure out who served it, anyway, so that just kept happening. And, like, I'm not saying this never happens and people can't get away with it, because it's very high volume where I work, but, like, you know, there are probably smarter ways to go about it. Anyway, I had multiple parties of people come in. The friend would order the drinks. Okay, whatever. And then they would stand at the bar, right in front of me, give the drink to someone who was not old enough to drink it, and then they would proceed to drink it in front of me. And then they would get kicked out because it's illegal, and we have to kick you out. And then they would go, you didn't see me do that. I did though. You could have gone so many other routes with that. You could have been apologetic. You could have walked away from the bar to at least try to hide it. I don't know. And I think that's, like, a really common theme with working in the service industry, and I think that's why it can be really exhausting, is people, like, forget you're a real functioning human fucking being, and actually use your eyeballs, and, you know, actually have feelings. So, when people are mean to you, or people treat you like you're a dumb bitch, it's a little fucking offensive and draining. It's also been so busy, which is so nice, actually. I hate being at work when it's slow, and I'm just like, meh. I'm standing there, like, twiddling my thumbs, like, please, give me something to do. But, yeah, it's been, like, a crazy ride, and I like, it happens every once in a while, but it was, like, back-to-back. I want to say, like, 4 or 5 different times in a single shift, which is a lot for me. And I was like, and I also, like, don't really like conflict. I have a skull tattooed on my arm. I don't know if you saw it. So, like, people kind of assume that, like, I am one confrontational ass bitch, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I will be confrontational, like, given the necessity for it, but I will cry afterwards in my car to my mom. Why when they mean to me, okay? So, like, you know, I don't know why I'm like that, but I'm sensitive. So, like, having all that happen and, like, having to deal with it, and then having them be, like, combative and be like, I want to be let back in, and you're like, but I can't because that's illegal. And I was worked up, okay? It has been a very tumultuous, emotional week for me. And I also don't like being a party pooper, but, like, you know, I also don't want to go to prison, and I want people to be safe, and that's, like, a big thing. Same thing with, like, I had another person, and I was like, yeah, like, you can't drive, like, sorry, like, I'm gonna have to either, like, take your keys, or, like, make sure you get an Uber, or, like, whatever. And they were like, I can drive. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. They ended up getting an Uber, and they actually came back the next day, because they were from out of town, and they were, like, very apologetic, and they're like, I really don't remember that. And I was like, sir, you are so good. Even though I was like, please don't be back here to yell at me again. I am so sensitive. So it's been a whole thing. This little apartment right here is glorious, and I should have talked about it more, but I was, like, too busy, you know, talking about me, myself, and I. Idiot sandwich. But I made this apartment, like, kind of like it had a converted greenhouse effect, and that's a photo I saw on Pinterest that inspired me to do that, and I literally am obsessed with how this whole house came out. I like the apartments. I think that they kind of all, in one way or another, mimic my vibes, because I don't have, like, one vibe, because sometimes I really like the clean girly aesthetic. I've also been in my pink era for months now. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I've been in my fucking pink era, and I cannot be stopped. So I also like the pink. But, like, diehard, I'm a green girly. I also am an eclectic girly. I am not naturally driven towards the clean girl aesthetic. I don't think it's, like, super obtainable in real life. So I also like exposed bricks and things from the antique shops and, like, thrifted furniture. So long story short, I think if you look in every one of these townhouses, you can see a little bit of a different version of myself and my thought processes going into them. Ah, that's so silly. Like, anyway, back to the new for rent pack. Well, let's go back to that bitch, because we got a lot to say about her. I think a lot of the Sims community, like, the general consensus is like, I love you, but I don't want to be a landlord. Like, we wanted this feature so bad. And I've seen a lot of people say that this could have been a feature with City Living. I disagree with that. I think with the way that the world of City Living is set up and the apartments themselves, this, from what I've seen, the for rent gameplay and build features are definitely more geared towards townhomes, which is definitely not in City Living. If anything, I would argue that you may have been able to make it in, say, eco lifestyle, but I think for what they're doing with the cultural aspects of it, having it in eco lifestyle would not have worked. And eco lifestyle, in my opinion, is, like, kind of mid. So I do think, and I haven't had the pack so far, but from what I've seen from people who have early access and whatnot, yay. I don't have early access, and this is my formal request for an explanation. Anyway, so from what I've seen, part of me feels like the for rent, like the actual rent build technology, like in update, could have been like a base game update or something. I understand that we're getting a whole new world, we're getting a bunch of new features and stuff, and I haven't played with it firsthand, but part of me thinks that the actual physical building tools to have separate apartments could have possibly just been a base game update. But I feel like you can argue that about a lot of things, so maybe I should just shut the fuck up. There's that too. And I also haven't gotten the game pack yet. I am planning on buying it and, streaming with it a lot. I've noticed a lot of people really prefer when I just stream with it for a long period of time rather than a review video, and I think that's because you guys want to know if it's worth your fucking money. And I don't blame you. $40? A lot of money. If I was not a content creator, and even if I was a content creator and I was in a less fortunate place than I am, I wouldn't spend fucking $40 on it. I wouldn't spend $40 on any pack. I would wait for those bitches to go on sale. I know that sounds silly, but like, it's the holiday time. We got all this stuff going on. I'm just saying, we got better things to do. But, oh, this is when I swing back around and I end up furnishing that little upstairs apartment. I made this apartment. I was like so enthralled. Again, I had like a whole storyline for this. So, this is for a little granny or grandpa. I was thinking a little grandpa, like a little old man. And Grampy is probably, like, I would imagine he's foreign. Like, The Sims is, like, not, like, the real world, so, like, they don't have, like, a Europe per se. But, like, I feel like this is, like, someone who, like, speaks, like, 3 or 4 languages. Like, they've traveled. And like, that's my homie. He has, like, really cool stories, yada, yada, yada. But he's a simple man. He likes to fish. That's, like, very apparent. But then, okay, the second bedroom, I was like, oh, I'll make it a grandkid's bedroom. And I was like, no, fuck that. Because it's a 3-bedroom house. He doesn't need 2 guest rooms. So I decided he was a world traveler who is very smart, very eccentric, very cool, just like cool dude. And I figured the reason for all his travel is he was actually a world-renowned chess player, and I made his the second room that you're about to see into like a little, or not this one, the middle one. Apparently I did it last. No, I did it right now. Okay. So I made like a bookshelf wall, and it ends up like almost kind of cramped in here. If you place this a lot, you definitely need to move objects. But I made it like this is like his chess cave. Like, this is where he goes and he ponders the game of chess. Because I think it's so funny. I constantly, oh, this is me like trying to make this like backdrop from high school years work. It works. I don't know. It works. I was trying my best. There was a theme I was going for. I did my best, okay? But, yeah, he is, I put chess tables in all my games, or like almost all my builds, because they're so helpful for gameplay. But in real life, how many people's houses have you been to that have a full standing chess table? Or a chessboard at all? Because honestly, I'm thinking about it and I can't think of anyone. So the fact that this person has like a whole like chess table is hilarious. Okay everyone, we have made it to that point in the video where I talk over my voiceover to the point where I forget to mention we're going into the live tour. So here we are at the live tour. And I hate to like, toot my own horn or anything, but she is stunning. I am obsessed and I'm really proud of her. She took a lot of hours. And we're going to go ahead and do a little tour. So this is the entire outside. As you can see, there's like lots of balconies. None of the houses or the townhouses are the same. I have been loving this style of like kind of more eclectic, messy, colorful landscaping. So you see that a lot in this build. Then we have the back. Nothing. Ah! That's embarrassing. I've been having so many wallpaper glitches. Then you obviously see we have the back. And I made this little like parking lot area to the side too to kind of add some realism. I like that stuff. And, I didn't want to landscape anymore. So I'm going to just go from left to right. Starting with this little white brick townhouse over here. This is for my little like clean girl aesthetic fashion icon girly. I'm just telling you, the nights you go out, this mirror sees everything. All the glam photos. And then, of course, this townhouse has a really similar layout to the next townhouse I'm going to show you. But just, like, some really natural, earthy tones. I really like that, like, aspect of it, the idea. And then the kitchen, of course. We have some green vibes. Very, very... basically, I would love to live here. Except I would not need this fancy espresso machine. I don't drink coffee like that. Except I am looking forward to getting a little Starbucks drink after I finish uploading this video. But that's because I have to bring my girls. They're going for a pup cup. They were good girls lately, so I have to get one. Then you come upstairs. You have this bathroom right here. I love the tile that comes from high school years. It is just gorge. Then, of course, we have our glam room. And interestingly enough, I didn't give her like a photo editing station, so I'm not saying, I think she's more of like an Instagram, TikTok influencer. She's not like a YouTuber. But this is like gorge, and I'm not even like super into clothes or anything like that, and I would be in awe of this. Just like, what a flex. What if, like, this is giving Hannah Montana closet vibes. And then of course we have just her room. It's a little plain, it's very green. You know, I'm a cutaway wall player, and sometimes you can really tell that I'm a cutaway wall player in my decorating choices, so, you know, please don't come for me. And then, of course, we have our dark brick gorge little second house. Some cute little flamingos for our little Grampy Gramps. And this is our international chess player turned quiet suburban dude. But you come in, and it's, like, very cutesy in here. I gave him a lot of art, and this is going to sound so funny, but, like, I imagine, like, these photos right here, a lot of them are from the Vampire Stuff Bag, I believe. I imagine that these are photos of his lovers. Like, maybe he was, like, in a very promiscuous open relationship and kind of in a very polyamorous situation in his world travels, or maybe he saw them separately, singularly, but Grandpa a freak. That's basically what I got at. And then, of course, like I said, very similar layout to the other apartment. And of course, we have a kitchen. I love the idea that he has, like, a china cabinet. I feel like he would be very formal in some sense, even though I did just tell you he was woohooing around the town, but, like, whatever. And then, of course, you come upstairs. This is where the layout gets a little different. So this house, it has, like, a little guest room, very plain Jane. Maybe he has a grandson or a granddaughter or friends, his lovers, I don't know. And that is attached to this ensuite. I love this tile. This tile is from Get to Work, and it's gorge. Not the tile on the wall, the tile on the floor. Then we have our chess cave. That's what I'm calling it. Sorry. We get some trophies, some flags, and this is where he comes in to ponder life's mysteries and play it through to the board. If you've ever seen The Queen's Gambit, this is the vibes I was going for. Then, of course, we have his room. Very brown, very poopy brown. My grandpa's house is a little poopy brown, so shout out to Pop one time. And that is the entire house over here. Let's go to our third townhouse right here. I am loving the, like, dark contrast with the white on the other side, but we have it right here. I completely understand that these are, like, on the sidewalk. We're just going to pretend they're overgrown. I added the sidewalk in after I did the landscaping. No one come for me. I don't have the mental energy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not. So you come in, and right away you come into, like, a formal dining room, and then we're still having that stair glitch. I'm having the stair railing glitch and the wallpaper glitch. Sims team, I'm hanging on by a thread. Please fix this. Then, of course, they have a little, like, hallway bathroom over here. That leads us into, like, this, like, kind of, I was going for, like, eclectic, kind of out there style. I used this fireplace from the Maximalist kit or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm actually obsessed with this fireplace. I wish it had more neutral tones so I could use it a bit more, but I had my opportunity, so I went for it. This frame TV has me in a chokehold. We don't need to talk about it right now. And then, of course, just, like, this kitchen. It's a little cramped in here, but I imagine this house is, like, very playable. I like playing in, like, slightly more cramped houses for the most part. Then, of course, we have the upstairs. Here is a little book, or, like, you know what I mean. The little office nook that I ended up putting in. And then, of course, you come in. We have a little science kind of themed room. I imagine whoever lives in here is very studious. And then we have a little bit more of a girly, floral, cutesy room. Really happy with how both of these came out. I love this little flower wallpaper. It's base game, but it's always a hit. It really is. Then, of course, we come in here. We have this blue room. This blue bed from high school years. Oh, I am obsessed with her. Love her. This is what I imagine Mom's room is. And she has like a little balcony area with some painting supplies. I love that. I like that the balcony kind of added a little bit more like living space for them. And then another bathroom as well. And I used a little clawfoot tub in here from Cottage Living, and I am totally obsessed with her. Then, this is our biggest townhome. And this is, I imagine, used to be like some kind of like observatory or greenhouse converted into... Ah! That's embarrassing. No one saw that. Literally no one saw that. I might cut this out of the video. Okay. Oopsies. Oopsie doopsies. But I imagine this used to be a greenhouse up here. I debated for a long time making this little area functional, but ultimately decided not to. And I did even think about putting like chairs up there so it looked like it was like a functional balcony, but I was like, I don't want to block the views. But I love these windows. I believe these windows are from Romantic Garden stuff, but let me check. Where are we? Windows. No, they are from Get Famous. Well, they're gorge, and I am obsessed. And again, my landscaping obsessed. This is really just an opportunity for me to give myself some daily affirmations. But you come in, there's like a little teeny tiny entryway before the stairs are right there. And then I love this like big formal dining room. And the wall sconces, slut me out for the wall sconces, guys. You know how I am. And I would say this is the best room in the house, except then there's the kitchen. I redid this kitchen so many times because the wallpaper glitch has been making it so when you add wallpaper, it like deletes your clutter. So I gave Homie like a huge kitchen. I wanted the person who lived here to have like a huge little coffee bar nook area. And I am just like, it's almost like a butler pantry per se, except it's attached to the main kitchen. I learned that word on HGTV. I hope I used it right. If I didn't, you can totally make fun of me for that. And then, of course, the pink. I am in a pink era, guys. I cannot be stopped. I will not be stopped, okay? I'm not sorry. And then, of course, we're going to head over into the living room, which is also ginormous. And I love how formal this living room is. I think it's just really pretty. I like that you can imagine kind of like sitting in here having high tea, you know, doing your flowers and whatnot. I love these sofas from Cottage Living. I think it's a nice little like mix between like modern and like classic, because I was kind of going for like a French farmhouse style. I also learned that on HGTV, and if I use that wrong, again, come for me in the comments. It's literally okay. Then we come up here, we have another little hallway. And then we have a little toddler's room. It's very pink and unicorn themed, lots of flower rugs. Very obsessed. Live, laugh, love that. Then, of course, we have another little girl's room, and I love this room. Like, the way that this room would have been such a dream when I was a kid, except it's not aqua blue, and I was such an aqua blue girl. But, like, other than that, like, the dollhouse, the bed frame. Ah, gorge. I love this. And I'm not saying you should spend $5 on the little clutter kit, but, like, this kind of thing right here does something to me. Love it. And then we have our primary bedroom, and she's not super crazy. I like this little like nook over here. I would like to pretend I'd sit there and read my books blissfully, but I know in real life, like in actuality, if I had a corner like this in my house, it would probably end up just collecting the laundry that I didn't want to fold. But at least I'm honest with myself. And then of course we have just an ensuite right here. Is this practical? I don't think so. Would you be seeing a lot of nudity? Probably. But this is The Sims, and I did what I had to do, okay? I did what I had to do. But all in all, that is the entire little townhouse, and it is going to be available on my gallery. Let's name it right this second, actually, because I haven't done that quite yet. Okay, apparently I took a lesson out of the Sims team's book in terms of naming things, like the For Rent pack, because I don't know what to name these. This is what they're going to be called on the gallery. My gallery is Tiana305. As always, it's in the description box down below. But that is it. We are coming to the very end of the video. Please let me know your thoughts on the new pack. I am really excited to get my hands on it and kind of form my own opinions. I've been watching everyone who has early access kind of play with it, and I am excited to get it. But I will full transparency give you my honest review and opinion. But with that being said, if you are looking forward to seeing that review and seeing me play a little bit more with that pack, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You know, I love when you guys do that, so you follow along with the journey. And obviously all my holiday builds, we have to freaking finish decorating the Real Slim Shady, so there's that as well. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. as always, drink your water, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.